Yeah, mate. Progress report on Harold's G288, and I thought, yeah, because I've struggled with the idea how to do this, and I think I've done what I think is the easy way to do things. I want to machine the top of the piston, like I said in the last video, and then I started thinking what I was meant to say yesterday in the last video. Our house the last 2 days had blocked up sewage, so we up in the arms and sewage, so that trying to unblock the bastard. Let me down the sewage pipe like that, trying to shove a snake through there, and it's still blocked up. All the pipes work except for the one thing, the toilet. Now the toilet's halfway down the line, but all our pipes are all terracotta pipes and they cracked. And I was told years ago they were cracked, but that was 20 years ago, but they've survived. So now I'm gonna have to dig up all the concrete because it's underneath a concrete slab. So no choice, I have to do it. But that's another story. Yeah, we're back to this. We're going to use saw. Right now, I want to machine the piston. So this is a spare piston. I'll machine a chamfer on the edge of 70 degrees roughly. There's Harold on there. Grab running page shows where it goes. And we're trying to work out how I'm going to mount this on the lathe, because when you mount this in a free chuck jaw, it doesn't line up. It's if it's a full skirt piston, it's easy as. But having an open window and like that, the jaw clamps on one side and the jaw sits here and sits there, so it doesn't clamp up. So I thought, how can I fix this? So I went shopping. Now I had a bit of aluminium already in the shed, 60mm aluminium to machine it up. So the reason I did it, I machined that flush or straight. They'll sit on the head of the lathe, so just push it back, and because it's sitting flat, the lathe face is already square. You push it down, cleared the 3 jaws on that, and it all sits. And I went to Bunnings, which is a hardware shop in Australia. I bought this stainless steel wire tensioning, those I suppose it'd be. They go down like that on 6 mils. Okay. Now I've got a new wrist pin. I won't use the Meteor one because the Meteor one is better. So that's a farmertec one. So hopefully it'll share. First time fitting up, got first time. Now the reason I have 1mm lines here, I can then see roughly, because this does not fit all the way. I'll show you. It's easy just to show you. Hang on. I was stuck up in this shit for a long time. Now how to use it. I was looking inside the piston. Still not. To me, it looks like the compression area, combustion chamber. It's slightly small than what's actually on the Harold one. That's my spare one, and that's Harold's one. So it seems to have, this spare one seems to have more of a switch bed in there, and a smaller chamber. So I think that's where it goes. Pull this off. Hopefully. Now, because this is it's a ring like that, it won't really do too much damage to this, but I don't want to put this bigger one that. Now, when I went to Bunnings, I bought this one, plus I bought another 2 of them. I'll take it off. 2 of them. The reason being, I had a 12mm wrist pin, or gauging pin, and I put it through, I thought, yep, and I picked up this one, and it's slightly bigger. I forgot these are 13mm, so I'm using 13mm. That's that 13mm fits in this already. I've tried it. Fits, see? So, but if I grab the other one, well, I can't reach it. It's in a box in there. If I grab the other one, it fits 12mm. Slightly bigger than 12mm, but you can't fit 13 in there. So they have defects. Everything China's made with defects. So I'm happy with that. So I'll put this together like that. Just roughly. Dry fit. Go like that. I put it down like that. And all the circles on that block there give me a good idea of where I am. Measurement wise, they're all done 1 millimeter apart. So I can reference where I have to be. If I want to, I can put the lathe and put the dial indicator on her. The washer there. And nut. So now I can hold that piston where I want. It wasn't too hard to machine up, it's just a bit time consuming. I'm still learning, guys. Every day I learn something new. we all should do, learn something new. Learn to respect each other and all that sort of stuff. So that there's a bit. The up and down should be fine, but side to side, because it's on the wristband, I have to check that out. So I always put that, nip it up like that. Put the dial indicator on that, make sure she's dialed in, she should be flat that way. And then I can cut this top part here, cut up tight of it. I thought that was quite a tricky idea. That bolt, the ivory bolt there, I couldn't work out how I could do this and weld a ring off there. I've done it before with a piece of pipe. I don't think it's fine. Up this way, a piece of pipe. But as soon as you weld one side, it bends and twists and bends. So I thought it must be something out there. I found doorknobs. So I was going to get a doorknob, a machine doorknob. But then the outside of the doorknob is actually thin tin, so I couldn't use that. But you can also put your clips in too if you want. I have to move that. I don't want anything being off balance, so make sure your wrist pin goes in there properly. So it's not going to be running very long, with just a little cut and that's it. But I want to shape that top of there. So I'll put that on the lathe and dial her up, make sure she's sitting where she should be. And I'll show you that sec. Where's the stop button? I'll show you guys. It's really weird, guys. Talk to yourself. It's weird in the shed. Normally I listen to a radio, but the back of that there, so that will sit on the head of the lathe like that. Flat like that. So it's squared up. You clamp it up. I can't do one head, but you clamp it up, and I'll put the dial indicator on this and see what she's sitting on. Right, that's the head of the piston, so dial indicator says only move the time bit. Happy with that. Time bit, I'm happy with that. Now I want to do side on, so I'll do that sec. Alright, only move the time bit. So I'll tighten it down, the nut, and pull that towards the aluminium block. I can machine that piston now. Yeah, but the nut now is tightened up on the clamp there, so it moves it to time bit. It's on the side of the piston, so I'm happy with that. The front will be the same as this plate here, so it should square. I'll check it though. And I'll have to machine a little angle and that's it. Pretty easy. I think it's easy. I'm happy anyway. Because it's a spare piston, it doesn't really matter if I make a mistake. Try and film it. I'm doing about a third of that ring length there. And about 7 degrees. I can't tell guys, the measured on this all rusty on. You just can't tell the eyeballing. So it works with this one here. I'll pull off and put the medial piston on and go from there. Let's start this up. One hand, quite dangerous, guys. So far, so good. That's it. Over that. Good shaver. Not cutting now, it's sitting there ready. That's all I want. A shaver so when the transfer chamber opens up, angles up more up in the air. I could go back more, I think. I think we'll do it though. You gotta look for that pin for your ring. Undo that bloody thing. Where's that? The pin's there, so if you get too close to that pin, the pin will break out the piston. But I'm happy with that. I think it'll stay like that. And that'll let me have the piston go further up into the bore and give me more compression. So I'll put the meter on here now and do her. So I'm not moving any of this stuff here. They're all the same pistons roughly. All I'm doing is putting the other piston back in here, making sure she's true still. Tell all the lines. I count the lines, just 3 lines on the side. So it's all good. Now this is a 54mm piston, so I probably can go up to 58mm piston on this probably. But yeah, I always want to do this. I've done the Husqvarna 372 with a solo 694 piston, and I couldn't machine the bits I wanted to machine. But I'm really happy with that. So I'll get the other piston done. I'll take it off and show you anyway. Well, let's just show you this one here. Angle on that. Just a slight angle. I wish this thing would focus. Focus, you dumb thing. No. And here. Oh, wrong thing. Number one, a bit of an angle. Now, you might think it's just stupid, Kevin. You're surprised a small change like this could change this saw completely. Pretty sure it will. It's all smooth. I can run sandpaper on that, clean it up a bit more. It's pretty smooth cut. I'll put sandpaper on the edge so make sure nothing's sharp. But I'm happy with that. I'll put the media on here now. You see, count the hot rings. Can't film this. Count the rings on and the piston. So I know she's spaced just right. I'm happy with that. I probably next time we'll do it 2 mils apart. Like, trying to work out this thing here. I was doing 1 every 10. 1 every 10 had to be 1 mil. So it's this thing here. It's all rusty. Yeah, that seems to be pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'll put the piston in now. And it looked like it didn't mark the wrist pin for farmertec at all. It wasn't tight, hard, or anything like that. But I wouldn't do it with a proper saw. Just in case it bruises the metal. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Heavy. I'll get the farmertec the medial piston now. Just slide that gauge pin out and slide back in, tighten it all up, and then she's done. But anyway, guys, that's enough for you guys. You know what's going on now. So I made this little thing. It didn't cost me all that much. $4 this ring bolt, eye bolt, and that's it. And playing around with the lathe, so I managed to make that work. And this will fit any piston I want to do, as long as the skirts are even on both sides. So I'm happy. So yeah, it's one of the things I've been trying to do. I couldn't do it. I actually got to where I want to go to that exhaust can't see it. Yeah, right there. I got to where I wanted to go. Right, guys. This is how I finished up, guys. That's the farmertec one. So a bit of a shame on that much. And I set the machine the same way I had it before. Piston on there, measured it all up. Now it appears that the medial piston has a higher deck height on the piston. Only a little bit, but I took more off that piston, and everything was set the same way. It just micro changed. But if you look where the rebates start on the ring lance, it's the same. It's the same. So I'm not sure. I think I was measurement wise. I never measured the piston, but I'd say the medials along the skirt by no quarter mil or something like that. But it worked. It's the same. I'm happy with that. You feel your finger. You run your finger over there. You actually feel the pop up to that, but it's a smooth pop up. Then now that will go really good. What if I could do that? Run the piston. Oh, I actually know why, because I got send it all off. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It was quite good. And that will hit that angle there. Instead of being straight, instead of being straight, it'll hit this angle and throw the filling out. More easier for the air to be thrown where I'm trying to direct it. You put your hand out the window on the car, on the freeway like that, it's flat. As soon as you do that, you feel a bit more air pressure on your hand. As soon as you do that, you feel the air in your arm and hand. So if you can guide the air just a little bit more by doing this, lightens the piston. I'm going to open these pistons up, open the ports up too. If you look at the ports, they're completely different. It's farmertec on the right and media on the left. The windows are way smaller, they're wider, but they're small. So there's ways to check. It's different. There is a difference in skirt length on the pistons. Not much. Hard to see with the eye, but I can tell there's a bit of difference. But anyway, it's just the way things are. That's exactly what I want to do. So now what I'll do is I put a bit of valve grinding paste on this and just skits inside the cylinder and see if she fits and see what part he's now hitting. If any part, it could be nothing, it could be ink. See what she's hitting the piston. So when I do my squish test, I know where to put my sole. My sole will be either side of the gudgeon pin and make sure she's right. But one thing I did find too, the wrist pin of this farmertec, I thought it was not going to fit this medial. I had trouble. I was mucked around. It's dry. It's been in a bag though. It had a bit of machine oil from factory. But I thought it won't go in. And all of a sudden it finally went into these wrist pin bound gudgeon pins from farmertec are super tight, and these guys this. So I know these guys medial have the tight ones too, but I thought I was about to have to go get my own medial pin to put that one there to lay this thing up, but I'm happy with that. But yeah, that's all I just got, simple. Now I can muck around with this whenever I want. I wanted this for a long time, but never going to do it. I'm going to pull that pin out here. You do that or you slip the pin out. Will it come out? It should come out. Screwdriver. Yeah, I didn't want to leave marked on the video wrist pin, so I'll get rid of that. But the cylinder, yeah, I'm happy with that. That should make Harold happy. That will make this saw really perform. You guys can really see the angle on that, but it's a good 7 degrees, 5 degrees, something like that. That's enough to make the thing hum. So yeah, I go up further the cylinder. Now I'll machine the cylinder down to suit, and then work my numbers out and make this thing rock and roll. All right, guys. Finally, over and out. That was fun. It was good. But my brain, it's when you had a stroke, if you got to think about things, I saw on a show once, if you go to the year 12 exam and you do year 12 exams or university, something like that, at the end of the day you're tired. And they reckon your brain uses so much energy just thinking it's as much as doing a 5-mile run. So you get tired thinking it's the reason you're burning all the energy in your head. And since I had my stroke, you start thinking about things and doing stuff and really thinking hard. It makes you tired. I want to lay down and go to sleep. Yeah, that's the end of the story, guys. That's the end of this video. I'm happy. I can now start doing more work on this cylinder ball.